Morning, my dear student. You see from your previous class, continue with it. And the next chapter, the name of the chapter is gravitation. Name of the chapter is gravitation. This chapter is very interesting, and also students will be interested in this chapter because they collect so many examples from the surroundings, and they also know the satellite, artificial satellite, and the planet, and the sun, and the solar system. So, curiosity of all the interested student in this chapter is very, very important. So many stories, so many histories about this chapter. We know it from our great scientist. You know it, the name of the scientist: Copernicus, Archyovector, Galileo, Newtons, and the Kepler. Okay, so many scientists, so many astrologers are there. Were there. Okay, because they invent so many theory, they invented so many theories, so many laws, but the famous scientist, name of the famous scientist was the Galileo. The last life, it was very, very pathetic, because he was the invention of first. In the solar system, sun is a rest object, and rest of the solar system planets are moving around the sun. Okay, so you know it. And one telescope also discovered by the Galileo telescope, astronomical telescope. So many theorems, so many laws in this chapter, you know it. And one scientist, famous scientist, Galileo, last life was very, very pathetic. And the lucky and very famous scientist, the last scientist, is the Newton's. He was discovered the Newton's law of gravitation. Newton's law of gravitation. So if you consider it, two objects of their masses are m1 and m2. They are separated at a distance d. They are separated at a distance d. The force of attraction between the two objects, F, is directly proportional to product of their masses and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. But most of the students, they are using this language, the force of attraction and repulsion. But you remember it, those are not the charged particle. So repulsion words are not applicable in that theorem. Okay? Only the force of attraction. So F varies as m1 into m2, F varies as 1 by d square. When you write it with the help of variation, F varies as m1 m2 by d square. Okay? With the help of variation, F equal to G m1 m2 by d square. F equal to G m1 m2 by d square. This is the constant term. The name of the constant is gravitational constant. Gravitational constant. But one question is here: the force is a vector quantity. Force is a vector quantity. vector quantity. But you see here, LHS is a force. Force is a vector quantity. So RHS, M1, M2 both are the scalar. G is also the scalar. But D or R distance, it is the vector quantity. So how can we use this vector notation? The vector notation is using by this unit vector is this, or so you must be remember it. You must be remember it. This side is the vector, so a right side also the vector quantity, because according to the law of equation. So if you write it, the unit vector is this, and if you write this vector of that, that is the r cube. So this part is not in your syllabus, but you must be remember it. Why RHS is vector quantity? How it is possible? How it is possible means, you know, the D is the distance. So distance is the scalar quantity. Distance is the scalar quantity. So which one is the vector? M1 and M2 is the scalar. If D is the scalar, so RH is the scalar. It impossible. So you must be measure the distance from here to there to center of mass. Means a particular direction. Particular direction. You are not follow that direction. You are not follow that direction. You are not follow that direction. So you must follow that direction. Straight. So shortest distance between the two center of mass. If the shortest distance between the two center of mass, that time that must be shortest. Shortest. That time it is not the scalar quantity. That time it is the vector quantity. Okay, am I clear? It is not the distance, it is the shortest distance. But you cannot correction the law. You must be remember it. Am I clear? So this is the vector quantity. Next part. What is the unit of G? Unit of G. The unit of G, you can derive it. G equal to F into D square by M1 into M2. F means Newton into meter square by kg square. So the unit of G, Newton meter square kg to the power minus 2. Okay. Okay. So it is not in your syllabus, but you remember it. What is the dimension of G? Dimension of G Newtons means ml to the power minus 2 into L square by m square. That is equal to m to the power minus 1 L cube t to the power minus 2. This is the dimension of G. What is the value of G? Value of G 6.67 or 6.66 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square into kg to the power minus 2. You must be remember it. This is the value of G. What is G? Definition of G. Definition of G means if you consider M1 equal to M2 equal to 1 and D equal to 1, means if you consider the two objects of masses are unit masses, they are separated unit distance, they are separated at a unit distance, that time the force of attraction is equal to the gravitational constant. Force of attraction is equal to the gravitational constant. So unit mass, unit distance. Students always consider unit means the 1 meter, 1 centimeter, 1 millimeter, but it is not the mandatory. If you say it, some objects are here. 1, 2, 3, 4 objects are here. Okay? If you see, each and every object start from the 100 kilogram weight. 100 kilogram. Suppose this is the 200, this is the 400, this is the 450. Okay. So when we use it in terms of the mathematical, that time if you use it, the 100 kilogram, 500 kilogram, 550 kilogram, so it will be a large number. You consider here, this is the unit, means 100 kilogram is the unit scale. So 200 is the 2 unit, 300 is the 3 unit, 450 means 4.5 unit. So that time it will be easy to use it. It will be easy to use it. For this, we consider here m1 and m2 equal to 1 and d equal to 1. Unit distance and unit masses, that time the force of attraction equal to J. Am I clear? Next part, G is universal gravitational constant. G is called the universal gravitational constant. Why G is called the universal gravitational constant? So, my dear student, you check it. Two objects are here, M1 and M2. They are separated at a distance, means shortest distance between the two center of mass is d. The formula is that by the Newton. You know it. But you are not mentioned the nature of the object. First one object made by the iron, second one object made by the copper, third one object made by the silver, fourth one object made by the gold. You are not mention it. You only see the mass of this object. Am I clear? So, this law is independent of the nature of this object. Am I clear? Second thing, you put here this object in here and another object you dip in water, that object. So, it is independent of the medium. In which medium the objects are there. Okay, those objects are there. Second and third number, the temperature, the density of the medium. Am I clear? Thus, distance means the formula will be applicable at the shortest distance as well as the far distance. So, this is the universal. This law is applicable for each and everywhere. So, this is called the universal gravitational law or universal gravitational constant. Universal gravitational constant. Am I clear? But exceptional. Exceptional means you know the structure of atom. One is the nucleus, another is the outermost cell. Am I clear? Outside the nucleus, different distance cells are there. So, inside the nucleus, protons are there, neutrons are there, neutrons are there. So, same charge proton, they are not repelled to each other. You know it. Due to the nuclear force inside the nucleus created by the terms. So, nuclear force inside the nucleus, they are trying to bind the proton charge, neutron chargeless particles inside the nucleus. So, inside the nucleus, this formula is not applicable. That means the diameter or radius of the nucleus is 10 to the power minus 12 meter. So for that distance, this formula is not applicable. And at the infinity means if you consider this is the infinity, that value will be the 0. So exceptional means exceptional. So when we explain it, the universal gravitational constant, that time you will always use in the positive words, not the exceptional word. But you remember it exceptional word because someone questions arise to you. Sometimes questions will arise, so that time you cannot complete the answer. Okay, so today up to this portion you must be try to clear it, otherwise you will come through my ePortal class. Am I clear? So the scalar vector is a very complicated term in your syllabus. So when you are in class 11, that time you will be clear. Okay, so up to this portion today. So my dear student, thank you my dear student.